49er mind is
It's not just a thought process, but a way of life.
49er mind. 49er mind.
I can't shake it. It's 49er mind that I got. It's 49er shine that I got. My psyche's on another Frisco Super Bowl. Don't sit slow, cause here we go with a super show. A red and gold session. About a red and gold obsession. With some well-controlled expressions. Let's talk about that win that we got. Who should have been in the spot? That's how it's been in the spot. Let's call that back, all that crack, all that straight fumble sack. Or just dial it on up if you wanna talk smack. It don't matter what the storyline, as long as the story aligns with a 49er mind.
49er mind.
It's not just a thought process,
49er mind,
but a way of life. For sure.
49er mind.
Way of life.
49er mind.
What is up, everybody? It's great to be back here on another Friday edition of Ballin' with Bash and Ted. I'm Bashar, and I got my co-host right here, Ted from Ted Talks Ball. How you doing?
Great, Bash. Happy Faithful Friday before the NFC Championship game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And want to apologize. We didn't go live last week. We lost one of our great close friends. She's an angel up there in heaven now, our 49er Queen Laura. So just again, want to give my prayers and condolences out to her. And Ted and I hung out with her one day. We got to have pizza together after training camp, and we had good times. We're talking Niners, talking pizza, talking family, talking all kinds of stuff. So definitely just keep those good memories in our hearts, and hopefully we can win this NFC Championship game and any other games in the future. That's for sure.
Rest in peace, Larkat.
Yes, so definitely rest in peace. So let's say what's up to some people who've been waiting patiently in the chat. We got Ryan from No Border Sports here, says, let's effing go, bang, bang, Niner gang. We got Red Jet Shell, she says, hey, chat. We got Sin, she says, go Niners, let's go. Jimmy Perez is up in here, says, what's up, Bashar and Ted. James Durnall from across the pond, don't confuse him with Jason Kelsey. There you go, Jimmy Perez, and then John Lynch says, what's good? Good, shout out to John Lynch, my good friend. David McNider's here, says, what's up, Bashar and Ted? Debo has been cleared. Yeah, that's right. You know what? Nice reminder. About half an hour ago, they did take Debo Samuel off of the injured list. He was listed with a shoulder injury, and they did take him off. So that's great, exceptional news. We all kind of saw the writing on the wall, though, right? Debo yesterday jumping up around, dancing and prancing around in practice. And I'm like, okay, it looks like this guy's going to be out there. What do you think, Ted?
I said it all week.
You knew it all along, huh? Once they said his X-rays were negative, I had a pretty good feeling. But with these Niners, remember with Clelin Ferrell, and almost they tried to downplay his injury at first. Remember that?
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, it was just precautionary and blah 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 blah. He feels like he could come back, and next thing you know, week passes, like, no, he's out for the season. So I was like, okay, let's not get too carried away with this Debo thing. Let's just wait until we have things that are in front of us that are more concrete, and him running around in practice yesterday told us a whole lot. And obviously today, them scratching him off the injured list. So that is good to know. And James Durnall says, full practice, just a bone bruise, if I'm right. Not sure what it is, to be honest. Do you know, Ted?
Do I know what's up?
Well, he's saying it was listed as a bone bruise. I'm not sure what they had it listed as. I knew it was some type of shoulder injury. I just didn't know the exact prognosis.
Yeah, bone bruise. That's what Debo said in the presser.
Okay. Yeah, Debo is just, you think he's the best wide receiver on the team. He is, in my opinion, the best playmaker probably on that team. There's a certain heart and soul factor that Debo brings to this squad. And as much as I'd like to say, Brandon Ayuk is more of your prototypical wide receiver, there's just special element that Debo brings that nobody else can replicate on this team. What do you think?
Ayuk gets a lot of yards. He obviously had way more yards this season, but I feel like when push comes to shove in the really important matchups, especially against the really good defenses, it's Debo time. That's who you give the ball to. That's who you want to take souls to be, trucking DBs and not getting tackled and making people look silly. There's just something about it that gets people fired up. And he and Christian McCaffrey are a crazy 1-2 punch to be able to have both of those guys. CMC isn't quite as powerful, but he's a little more elusive. and obviously a pure running back. So it's incredible to have both these guys on one team.
Yes, sir. I remember people were calling Debo the wide back, and then we got CMC, and you were calling CMC the run receiver, or I'd say running receiver. It sounds kind of dumb either way, but wide back just is a bit more catchy and kind of rolls off the tongue better. You can say they're both wide backs, I guess, in kind of a funny way.
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
We got another guy from across the pond, Paul Hope, over in the UK, says, "What's up, Ted and Bash?" I believe you hung out with this guy at one of the games, right?
Yes. The 49ers Faithful, this is or the Faithful UK.
There you go. You got the flag.
Yep. They came to, I've been flying that since last offseason.
Yeah, you should have. Mm-hmm.
So they came to the Bucks game. 36 of them came from across the pond. I was one of 4 Yanks. It was me, Ty Alston, and John Chapman. And then I think Breezy was supposed to be there, but he had trouble getting out here from across the country. And so one of John Chapman's buddies came with him. So it was 4 Yanks and 36 Brits in the gold mine, making it loud. It sure was loud. And we had a lot of fun. And obviously we beat the Bucks that day.
When you sit in that gold mine section, you have no choice but to be loud. They
make you work for it.
There's people that run this section, and when it's a special section, it almost looks like high school bleachers. It's like 3 or 4 rows, I think, maybe 3 rows. But they got these dudes that like are banging on noisemakers the whole time and making you do these cheers like all throughout the game. You're almost like an extension of the cheerleading squad. So if you're expected to go to a game and not cheer, get loud or whatever, and you're sitting in that section, think twice, because you probably leave. You'll probably have to call in sick at work the next day. You won't have a voice if you sit in that section. I was there for the New York Giants game, home opener this year. We got Kenny Culp. Says, hey, Ted Bashar. Good to see you, Kenny, 49er Culp. I believe he's Brian Culp's cousin, if I'm not, or maybe his brother, or one of the two. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead. Rick Diaz is in the house. He says, what's up, my friend? Good afternoon. Good evening. You guys ready for some football Sunday? I'm here in Chicago. I'm ready. Yeah, a lot of people are pumped up already. I mean, earlier in the day, I wasn't pumped up about it, but now with all these thoughts running through my head and hearing even just, more solid news about Debo, definitely makes me feel a lot better, even though I was kind of had a good feeling with him, about him in general. John Lynch, he's always spitting it on Kyle, man. Always doing this to me, John. He says, this game will make or break Kyle's legacy. Hopefully this 3 times a charm. Hopefully we make it happen. Kyle finally has a quarterback that's noteworthy in my opinion. So, and just the squad is, he's had better defenses before, but as a collective team, I do like this team. And if we can just get hot at the right time, let's just do it. We could probably make it happen. What's your whole take on the Kyle thing and his shortcomings in the playoffs and all that?
Well, I mean, can't be too mad at him about last year because, Purdy hurt his elbow 5 plays into the game, which killed us. In the year before against the Rams, Jimmy was injured, right? His shoulder and his thumb was injured, and Trent Williams was playing on a sprained ankle, probably ill-advised to do that. So it was a bummer to lose to the Rams, especially when we had a lead. But at the same time, injuries to the quarterback position have hurt us a lot, including the year before that in 2020. When Jimmy sprained his ankle twice, and then Jimmy in 2018. And so QB injuries have held us back a lot. So let's hope, knock on wood, that they don't. I'm rocking a Brock Purdy Niners, or the Brock Purdy Niners visor that I got this week.
You're wearing a Purdy visor? I got to say, you got his jersey on.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could read it.
It says,
okay.
It says the Brock Purdy Niners.
Okay. Is that a custom or is that an official type?
No, it's out there on the web. I saw another one today. I was looking when I was backstage and we were kind of getting ready. And I saw one that I liked. There's one that says, what does it say? It says Mr. Irrelevant, and then in big numbers 262. So I may have to.
That's the 262nd pick of the draft, right?
Yeah, in the 2022 draft. So I may have to fork out another $25 or so and get that one too. It's looking pretty good. Always looking to add to my visor collection.
Yeah, you got more advisors than anybody I know, and easily more 49er advisors than anybody I know. You just here we go. So James Cernal says the Purdy stand conversion is complete. Mission accomplished, guys. Project Prop Up Purdy is over. Not for a good portion of our fan base. Some people who claim to be Niner fans, some of them haven't accepted Purdy yet. But my thing is, if we win it all with Purdy, I'm like, bro, you guys can't go to the parade. You guys can't celebrate. You can go watch whatever other team and root for whatever team you want, because you did not want to accept Purdy the whole season. You said he wasn't good enough, and you know. So that's my take on it. I'm not the gatekeeper type of guy, but when I see somebody get shitted on all year long and they act like, Purdy's weak and he's just a product of his environment. Now, no, I just have to step up and say a few things about it. I think he's the best quarterback we've had since Steve Young. And I truly believe that. I think he's better than Garcia. So
I can see that.
All right, Ted. That's fine.
One thing though, with the Packers game, which was a little bit disheartening, was to see him struggle in the rain again after he did it against the Browns, and I had seen it the year before in the wild card game against the Seahawks, where he struggled in the first half when it was wet, and then it dried out, and he torched him in the second half. And I kind of talked about that a lot after the Browns game. A lot of people gave me grief for saying that I thought he was a fair weather quarterback, but then he came out, he was wearing the glove. He definitely struggled with the glove. He struggled without the glove. Because I think the glove gave him good grip, but then also he was able to throw with velocity and he had a nice spiral on it. But the problem was, I think when you have a glove, you get the good grip, but then it's hard to release the grip and have accuracy with where you release to. And so I think that's why he took it off. So it is a little bit of a concern, but definitely in dry weather like we have this weekend, I have the utmost confidence in Purdy to rock and roll and really torch this Detroit Lions secondary. The two boundary corners are weak, and we can talk about that now or later, whenever. I don't want to jump.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it a little bit later. Purdy has been excellent this year, but sure, is the rain his Achilles heel? You can say so. Going to the game, they were saying light rain. I was like, okay, cool, light rain. It's not going to be that big of a deal. It's not going to be what we faced against the Cleveland Browns over there. And what was supposed to be light rain wasn't light rain. It was significant heavy rain, and it did have an effect on Brock. And some people were complaining like, oh, they don't practice, they don't prepare the team for the wet for the rain. And the announcing the Fox crew did say that they did prepare Purdy with a wet ball, and they worked on those things. It's just that certain things, again, like I said, is Achilles heel. It's just he's just not good at it. I don't know, for whatever reason. Other quarterbacks struggle against the rain in their NFL careers. Hopefully
the Lions creators I had on this week all said that Goff struggles in the rain too. So
okay, there you go. So
they both have kind of smallish hands. Purdy has 9.25 inch. Goff is 9 inches even. So even
what's considered
quarter inch smaller than Purdy's.
What's considered average hand size for the NFL quarterback?
I think 9.5, 9.75, 10 inch.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
Size.
Hopefully next season.
That's why I didn't think Love was going to have problems. He has huge mitts.
Oh, he has big ass hands. All right. Yeah, it's just interesting because it's like, I remember they said they had the glove, but then again, it's hard to release the ball with the glove. So hopefully they find a glove for him that works properly.
Yeah, I think practicing more that way, I think.
Yeah, they should just work on that. He on his own in the offseason, he could work on that and figure out what works for him.
There's no magic size that's the end all be all, because Mahomes has 9.25 inch hands too. So I think part of it is palm size to finger size ratio. Like I have real big hands, but I'm mostly all palms, and my fingers aren't real long. And so I always had trouble palming a basketball. Like I could palm it and hold it, but like I couldn't like put it in your face and pull it away, or like swing it around while I was palming it.
I can palm a basketball, but I'm not like Michael Jordan. The way Michael Jordan could go like this and do all that
longer fingers.
Yeah, I couldn't do what Michael Jordan
doing it. Yeah. So it's not just the absolute size of your hand. It's how big your palm is in relation to your fingers too. So
true. I just want to shout out to people out. We got Somi Mera. He said it was pouring last Sunday. Yeah, definitely was pouring. And hey, we're lucky at clear skies in Santa Clara throughout the weekend. It's gonna be good weather in the 70s. We got Bob Money in the house says yo, and yeah, man, there you go. So I like Purdy a lot, but sure. The good thing is this though, as much as the rain did affect his throws, no turnovers on Purdy's end, right? He didn't fumble. He didn't have any fumbles. Didn't have any interceptions. He came close a few times. I get it. There were some questionable throws. There were some drops too, though, where especially the Kittle one. I was like, whoa, Kittle, you got to get that one, man. I've seen you make that catch so many times throughout your career. And, I get it. No player is perfect and mistakes are going to happen. But in these games, especially when they're close, those closer playoff games, you can't afford to make mistakes. But we somehow squeezed one out. We didn't play our best game, but when it mattered, Purdy was nice in that towards the end of the game. He had a pretty high completion rate, and he wasn't necessarily throwing to big-time stars. He had a 17-yard throw to Conley, had an exceptional throw to Jennings. I think the one to throw to Jennings over the middle, was that the one where he was getting slammed? He was getting hit right in the face or something? Or the dude was backing into him, and he still threw it and got it off? That was very impressive. Yeah.
That was, yep.
Mm-hmm. We got Carcast in the house over the East Coast, says, yo, good to see you, bro. And Bob Money says the script is in 49ers Super Bowl logos are purple and red. Obviously, we're going to take the Super Bowl home this year. I know there's this whole conspiracy going on, conspiracy theory, as they say, going on with the Super Bowl logo and how I believe they say that if the dominant color signifies who the losing team is, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe the dominant color is purple with some red on top of it. And I don't know. I just want this team to win games. If that was a sure thing, I'd literally be like, okay, cool. It's cool if I could miss a game because I already know we're going to go to the Super Bowl anyways, We'll see, bro. We'll see. We should win this game, but at the same time, we're not playing an easy opponent. It's not going to be easy. So that's that. We got Joey Mahoney in the chat. He says, what's up, Bash? What's up, Ted? Go 49ers. Good to see you. David Corona was over here from Crown Town, Southern California. Says, what up, everyone? 49ers all day, every day. Great to see you, bro. And, Purdy was getting hit quite a bit during that game, don't you think? I think that affected a lot of his throws, too.
Yes. Yeah, he was hit, pressured, hurried, all that.
Yeah, if it wasn't a hit, there was a hurry or pressure. And so, it wasn't like he was just sitting back there with a clean pocket and throwing all these incompletions, you know what I mean? So hopefully, a lot of people were complaining that we didn't run the ball enough. And I noticed that, John Lynch is saying right here, 46 pass plays, 18 run calls. I think it was more. Okay, did Purdy run 5 times? Because I know we ran 23 times as a team. If Purdy ran,
there were some sneaks, right?
Yeah. Well, there were some sneaks too, yeah. But in general, we run the ball 29 times a game on average. So, so we just need to run the ball a bit more. And I didn't really notice it much during the game because my head was spinning all throughout the game. Anything that made sense couldn't make sense for me. And there were times when I was watching the game, I was like, bro, we lost this, man. Especially when freaking who's that? Logan Ryan. When Logan Ryan whiffed on that tackle on that Aaron Jones run, that should have only been a 5-yard run, dude. And Aaron Jones runs up the field for 53 yards. When that happened, I was like, man, I don't know. I think we're done right here. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I thought we were going to lose quite a few times, including on the kick return, and they fumbled it and recovered their own fumble. I was like, man, everything's going their way. Paul is asking what the badge is on my jersey. This is from Miss Deb, Top Hat Deb. She's a pretty famous Niner fan. And I met her at the Breezy and John Chapman music video filming, and she gave me one of these. Yeah, shout out to Deb. On Top Hat Deb, I have one of those pins as well. I have a Debo pin on one side and Top Hat Deb pin on the other. Really, really nice, sweet lady. Huge diehard Niner fan. She was in the running for NFL Fan of the Year at one point. She was 49er Fan of the Year a few years back. So. Yeah, John Lynch, you're right. Purdy scrambled a bunch of those on a bunch of those plays, and we did a few, like Ted mentioned. I know we did at least 2. I think we did at least 2 QB sneaks, if I'm not mistaken. But we got. I don't know what it is with Kyle and Elijah Mitchell, because Elijah Mitchell, his rookie season, ran for about 962 yards. Could have easily had 1,000 had he been healthy a few more games, and now it's just like, okay, it's the CMC show and nobody else, But we've seen, Mitchell and Mason get the ball a bit more throughout the season, and they look pretty good, man. Yeah, Mitchell was slow starting this season, but he was out of shape. And once he rounded into game shape, he looked pretty good. And the thing about Mitchell, too, is the guy never fumbles. So I didn't understand why not maybe move CMC into the Debo role and let Mitchell backfill CMC. And as our running back one, and then even you might actually get some JP Mason reps too, giving Mitchell a breather. But none of that happened last week. maybe they'll figure that out for the next time the Devo gets hurt, because it seems to happen pretty regular basis now.
Yes, sir. Just a reminder, like and subscribe to both channels. This is the double broadcast, so it's on TED Talks Ball's channel. If you're not subscribed to TED Talks Ball, if you refresh the browser on my tab, at least you'll see it come up. I just updated it now, and yeah, if you're on Ted's channel, hit the like and subscribe on my channel, which is vice versa. Yeah. So Joey says Bosa quit on the Aaron Jones run, and he said Joey's the most faithful 49er fan in the history of the universe, because he said, I never thought we were going to lose even after the Aaron Jones run. I don't know. It looked like they were going to get an easy score. Our defense tightened up. That was the nice thing, that we were very bend but do not break in that game when it came to defense.
Yeah, I definitely thought we were going to lose for quite some time there. So he's a better fan than me, I guess.
You're the best fan in the universe, Joey. James Journal says 3 big plays in that game kept them alive. One on pass PI. Yeah, the PI by that was. I don't even think Thomas got even burnt on that play. He just misjudged the damn throw and mistimed it. The kickoff return was what pissed me off, because when the dude fumbled it, I was like, dive on that shit, get it. I'm like, dude, these guys are out hustling us for a damn fumble where it looked like I didn't even see a Packers guy in the frame of the screen, and I see this Packers dude out of nowhere at the end jump and dive from. Like, dude, these loose balls aren't even going our way, so this is not going to be good. But yeah, obviously the run by Aaron Jones, which sucked. Hopefully that's the last of those type of runs that we see from here on out. That'd be great. Paul Hope says Lee was hosting. You said Lee was at the game. Lee Galvin was at the game that I went to, the Giants game. I saw him in our section. I unfortunately didn't get to meet every single person in that section. I met a few people that I didn't know already. Most of who I spoke with were people I already know, but there were people that sat by me that I never met before or I never knew online. And I met a good portion of people in our section. I feel bad for not talking to Lee. I had no connection with him online either beforehand, but I know they did announce that he was from the UK. But shout out to him since he's your buddy. Yeah, I think you guys do a podcast together.
El Presidente, he's president of 49.
He's president of the UK Niner fan club. Okay, good to hear. Norm 209er Empire says, "What's up, Bash and Ted? What up, Faithful? It's good to see him. Hip hop artist / Niner fan. He's up in the house, and yeah, and just a reminder to just hit like and subscribe on both channels. And yeah, I'm just really, really anything about that last game that you want to talk about that we didn't touch on yet? If you want to bring it up really quick.
Gosh, there was so much. Just Purdy, we needed a game-winning drive, and he put it together. So as much as he struggled in the rain, and as much as he struggled in Cleveland in the rain, both games he put together game-winning drives. It's just Moody missed the field goal against the Browns, and CMC obviously didn't miss punching it in. It was great to see Chris Conley get the big catch on the game-winning drive out on the right sideline. He was one of my standouts from mini camp, training camp. I thought maybe he should have made the 53-man roster, and it was great to see him ball out, because I have a lot of faith in him if we need him again.
Yeah, Conley is the guy that they showed a lot. We saw a lot of him in the preseason. Taller, athletic guy with some good speed, and we didn't really see him do much in the regular season, but he's got experience in the league. He's been a pretty decent player throughout his career, and it was nice to see him make that big catch in a big, meaningful game in a meaningful moment. I've been ragging on Moody a lot. I'm not a big fan of the pick. I'm not a big fan of drafting kickers that high, especially when I thought we should address O-line. DeJuan Jones, I'm going to say his name. I said his name a million times already, and I was pounding the table for him on the live draft show when he was available. But to Moody's credit, he did make a field goal, 52-yarder when we needed him to. And, the 3 points was the difference in the game for us to win, right? We won by 3 points, so that does play a part in it. Alberto Soto says, love the sippy cup. I don't know why. I don't know what to call it, sippy cup. It's got a nice, marble matte finish. It's really, really solid, and I love this cup. It just keeps your drink cold, and I'm just drinking water out of it in case anybody wants to know what I was drinking. And, repping my Niners while I'm drinking it. Hey, I'll take it.
It's not straight bourbon.
What's not? I will, if I go live after the game, and hopefully we win, God willing. I'll probably have myself a nice little Captain Morgan and Coke. Niner Gang podcast is here. Dion says over in Arizona says, Check out his channel. He's awesome. Check out his Instagram too. He does a lot of funny little voiceover comedy type stuff on Instagram. Dion's awesome. Really, really good. I regard him as a great friend. Really, really good guy. Says, what's good at first? LOL, Debo is back in the building. Yes, he is. Hopefully we can, you mentioned Debo earlier being a catalyst and being a guy who's a big playmaker. I mentioned this with Raj a whole lot when I go on with him, and in general, like Debo, will have those games where he's a good player and he's decent, and then Ayuk, for the most part, a lot of times will outshine kind of Debo in a way of, in terms of being more of a typical receiver, in terms of gaining more yards down the field. And because Ayuk is pretty nice, those deep type crossing routes. But what I was mentioning earlier was that Debo has that special playmaking catalyst type ability. And the Eagles game, for example, right? When Debo is good for a handful of games where he'll just run wild and go crazy. And when he does that, I refer to him as a Tasmanian devil. I was hoping to see him do that in the last game, but we didn't. I don't know. Debo was out there, for 5 minutes maybe before he got hurt? I can't remember how long he was out there. So we'll have him ready this week. Hopefully we can see a bit of the Tasmanian devil Debo, where he's a big playmaker, and it'll just make Purdy's job a whole lot easier. And Alberto Soto says, who did they say was questionable? I did not look up the injury report. I could do it in a minute and just see who might be questionable. I'm not sure just yet. I could definitely check that out though. Joey, I wanted to see Danny Gray big time out there. You probably did too. Trust me, when Debo went down, I was like, man, I wish they had activated Danny Gray. He wasn't even activated, so I don't know, man. It looks like we're never ever going to see the guy, unfortunately. Sucks. And he's got, I'd like to see him because he's got explosive speed. We drafted in the 3rd round. He's got a build to him too. He's not like a little scrawny guy. He's actually built a bit better than Ronnie Brown is. So I don't know though. Will we ever see him? That's the question now. Especially once this season ends, and if we win the Super Bowl or not. Do we go a different round, draft different receivers, assign different receivers? Because it looks like Danny Gray's not a part of what Shanahan's doing, unfortunately. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I think he's on contract 1 more season, so I think he'll get 1 more chance. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in 2024. Normally, I was saying all along that, we don't have a quarterback that can throw deep to him, but Purdy really developed that this season. So maybe there is hope for him. I mean, he's not going to unleash Danny Gray's full potential, right? Kind of like what we saw when Trey Lance hit him in the Green Bay preseason game. But, Brock's proven himself to be pretty damn good at 30, 35, 40-yard shots down the field, which is, I think, enough to, and I think for Danny Gray, what he needs to do, he's got to learn to be a good blocker. If he could assume the Juwan Jennings type of role, that would be huge. He's not that big to do that. But also, if he could learn a few routes besides the 9 route, that would help him a lot too. So if he can't do either or both of those things, then yeah, he won't be around much longer.
Well, I know there's that whole stigma behind him when he came out that he's seen more as a deep threat. And right now we currently don't know what kind of routes he can run because we just don't see him out there. It's just a big question mark. Maybe he can run a few routes, but we just, for whatever reason, he's not getting his shot. But it is what it is. What's it called? What's his name? James Jordan said Danny Gray because Jalen Hurd. Well, they're 2 completely different type players, but
Jalen Hurd never played a single snap in the regular season. So
that's true.
That was mostly injuries. This is a little bit different. I mean, not that Danny Gray hasn't been injured, but I think he will see, if he didn't already, I think he will see some snaps in the NFL. Yeah.
Shout out to Rob D. Says bang bang Nerdy Gang. He says bang and smash equals bash. Hey, I'll take it. Listen, we got to bash these Lions up and down the field. That's for sure. Is Jair Brown going to start? Good question.
I hope so.
You know what? I was watching that game, and it didn't cross my mind that he wasn't really out there. I obviously noticed Logan Ryan here and there, but I just thought they were throwing him in there. It didn't even cross my mind that he didn't play though. He didn't play at all, did he?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened with that. And they were saying that Shanahan felt more confident with Logan Ryan because he knows the system better or whatever. So
he's not a rookie. Just say it, Kyle.
I don't know, man. I mean, I loved Hufanga. I was so pissed when Hufanga got hurt. I'm a huge Hufanga guy, and I was like, okay, well, we lost Hufanga, but we kind of have a plan B in Jair Brown. They're both similar type players, and sure, Jair Brown doesn't necessarily have the experience, but
very similar.
He showed right away that he's a playmaker, though. He can hit, he can get interceptions, and I think if he was out there, the defense would have looked a little bit better, but we'll never know because we can't go back to that game. Yeah, so let's see what else is going on here. What up, Ekim? Ekim's up here, says, hey, Bashar and Ted, good to see you. And John Lynch said, just think we could have had Isaiah Likely or Kirby Joseph, but we took. Yeah, there's a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas going on in the draft, but we do not fare well in the third round. So hopefully we can fix that in this upcoming draft, and that would be nice. I believe we may still have 2 third-round picks, if I'm not mistaken. And I have done my fair share of mock drafts. I did a couple of them the other day, and my whole thing is in round 1. Not that I want to talk about the draft right now, but my whole thing is round 1 is I'm going tackle all day long. With whatever first pick, whoever we pick in the first round, it's going to be a tackle.
I've been saying that all off season and all season that I thought that first round pick would be either used in the draft for a tackle or to trade for a tackle by the trade deadline.
I don't know who they trade for, but yeah, I would definitely want to tackle either way. Rob D says Kyle Shanahan's explanation made less sense after Tig, Jair Brown got 0 snaps. Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me at all either, and especially after Logan Ryan looked like crap and messed up really, really bad on 2 plays. So, and what's funny because when we signed Logan Ryan, a friend of mine told me that he was one of the better zone cornerbacks in the NFL, and he's a great pickup. And I get it; he's got a Super Bowl resume, and you got a nice resume, you got a nice career, but it's more of what you are now compared to what you were back in the day. And I know he was transitioned to safety a few seasons ago, so I just don't know how effective of a player he is at this stage of his career. I just don't.
Don't see much tread left on those tires.
Yeah. John Lynch says, John Lynch is in our chat. Our general manager says Ryan may have missed that tackle, but Brown has missed so many tackles this year. They went with Ryan because he is more sure in tackling. I hope he is. That one play was terrible, man. That was so bad. But yeah, so let's talk about these Lions coming up. I mean, I'm pretty sure we covered a lot. I mean, just obviously. Let me start with this. In order to beat the Lions or beat anybody, if we're gonna go to the Super Bowl, Bosa looks looking good getting pressures, but what's going on with them? Hargrave, Chase Young, Randy Gregory, and even Armstead. Like our pass rush is like, where's it been, man?
Well, Armstead was out for a while, so it's not unexpected that it'll take him a little while to round back into game shape. Hargrave should be getting pressures. That's what he does. He's not great against the run. He's supposed to be a great pass rusher. So hopefully he rebounds this week, especially since the Lions left guard, Jonah Jackson, is out this week, and their center, Frank Ragnow, is playing with a sprained ankle and a sprained knee. Interior of our D-line should eat. Armstead, Hargrave, Kinlaw, maybe even Kalia Davis. Should all do well, hopefully. Chase Young, I've been saying, is overrated. He did have the stop on Jordan Love. And it's interesting. I had some Packers fans on, like I usually do behind enemy lines the week before, but one of them actually came back on yesterday, Goot, and she was saying, instead of calling it the brotherly shove, they call it the love shove. And, Chase Young foiled it, and we stopped Love short, and they all complained about the spot, but I'm like, dude's head didn't even pass the line. So how did the ball pass the line? Like, how are you complaining about a bad spot? It looked like a perfectly fine spot to me.
They only had one penalty. They only had one penalty the whole game, and we got penalized like 6 times.
Now they were talking about spots and
I know, but they're trying to say that the refs were the reason why they lost.
Yeah, Vegas.
Yeah. I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, then why did we get penalized 6 times? And you guys only got penalized once.
Yeah, no, it was pretty ridiculous. But so I was saying last week before the game, I was saying that our offensive line is overrated and overpaid, and they did nothing to change my mind. Now I will say the Green Bay Packers offensive line is really good, but the problem is the Lions offensive line is even better. So at least when healthy, and they are not healthy. But Penei Sewell is up there. Honestly, he's getting up there with Trent Williams as one of the best O linemen in the league, one of the top tackle, highest rated. He was the highest rated tackle this year. Ragnow is one of the top centers. The guy next to him, Graham Glasgow, their right guard, is an all-pro. So that's the strength of their line, is the right side of the O line. Left side, like I said, their guard is injured, and then they have I think it's Taylor Decker is the guy's name. Their left tackle. He's really good too. They're all like either all pros or Pro Bowlers on that O line. But the one thing I will say is they're a little bit better at run blocking than pass blocking. And there's a lot of parallels between our teams. From the creators I talked to this week, it's like, neither team trusts their quarterback in the rain. Neither team, we're both front runners. Neither team likes to play in close games or from behind. Both have great run games. The Lions actually have a great run defense, and that's a concern for me because anyone who can stop the run, as you know, that's trouble for us because we're run first, and our scheme is everything's based off play action and the run. And if we're drop back passing, we don't have a line for it. And quite frankly, Shanny isn't the best drop back passing play caller either. So, there's their O-line is their strength. We have the linebackers, obviously Dre and Fred are the best in the league. Our secondary is probably a little better than theirs because both of their boundary corners are garbage. Cam Sutton is no good. And then they have Kendall Vildor, who they pulled up off the practice squad 5 weeks ago. But they have real good safeties. Somebody mentioned CJ Gardner-Johnson. It's interesting. He's not even a starting safety for the Lions. And
he didn't start? I thought he was a starter.
No,
really?
It's Kirby Joseph, who was also mentioned in the chat. And this Melifonwu Ifiani or something like that. They call him
interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
so
hopefully he looks a little.
He starts on nickel on passing downs, but he's when you say starter, you think base package. He's not in their base package when there's only two safeties. He'll play in 3 safety sets, and then they have a great nickel corner named Brian Branch, who they drafted this year. So they had this crazy draft where they had Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall, and then Jack Campbell 18th, who's an inside linebacker. He started out slow, but he's playing well now. Obviously, Sam Laporta, 36th, one of the best tight ends already as a rookie. And then this Brian Branch guy went pretty early too as their nickel corner. So, in my article, I was just basically saying, if we can get pressure on Goff and limit their run game, we're going to run away with this thing. But that's easier said than done against this really elite offensive line. I said, really, when it all comes down to, if everything else equal, I trust Debo, Ayuk, and Jennings against their boundary corners. So I think, because they've given up these huge games to every wide receiver one they've faced for the last 5 or 6, 7, 8 weeks. I also trust Brock Purdy a lot, formerly Mr. Irrelevant, now currently Mr. MVP finalist, top 5 finalist for the MVP award. I trust him a lot more than Mr. number 1 overall previously and discarded by the Rams, Jared Goff. Goff's better as a Lion than he was as the Rams on the Rams, partly because of their line, partly because they have better weapons than the Rams had. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a stud. Laporta's a stud. Reynolds is the security blanket who came over from the Rams. And then they got great running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are argued. The Lions people I talked to want to say they're the best backfield in the NFL. And since we have no one else besides McCaffrey, which you know what I'm saying, we do have the guys, but we never see them.
We
so
just don't use them. If we used them, we would have.
You can't, right? You can't count them because they don't get any play. Anyway, I can kind of see why they're saying that. So I think it'll be a pretty tough game, but like I said, I like Debo and Ayuk and Jennings against Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor. If we can get that.
I got you. And I pulled up the injury report for the Detroit Lions, and this was from the official Detroit Lions Twitter page. About 2 hours ago, they put this out. They said Jonah Jackson is ruled officially out. He has a knee injury. Caleb Raymond has a knee injury. He's officially out. Questionable.
Raymond is their punt returner, but he's also a dangerous receiver as well too.
Yeah, and questionable. They have it says a tooth injury. I don't know. It's just listed as a tooth. Hendon Hooker is questionable, and Chase Lucas has an injury. He's questionable. John Lynch in the chat mentioned that their linebacker was going to be out, but I don't see him listed. Was it Anzalone? He said he's hurt. Their best linebacker.
Anzalone's good.
Oh, and I don't see him on that injury report. So that's the official injury report from the Detroit Lions Twitter page. That's interesting. We got a good friend of mine here. He's in the chat. Where is he? I just saw him pop up a second ago. Jesus Christ is my king. What's up, all? Good to see you, bro. Happy New Year. Yeah, Tyler McGurk is up in here. He says 49ers offensive line needs to show up, especially on that right side. Oh, yeah. There was so many times that I cringed during the game where Purdy was rushed or hurried or hit or what. All the three. And a good portion of the time it was either McKivitz or Burford or somebody just not doing their job properly. And Aiden Hutchinson, man, this guy is way
Burford
better.
didn't play. It was Feliciano.
I thought Burford played a little bit at the end, though I thought he was playing them later on in the game.
Not that I'm aware. All I know is Feliciano started. I don't know.
Feliciano definitely started. I just thought they threw in Burford later. Somebody correct me in the chat.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because I know I've seen them do that a bit this year, too. And I like Feliciano. He's a good player. Really good run blocker, actually, in my opinion. So Aiden Hutchinson, man, this guy is like really, really good, man. This guy's, he had one sack the last game, and we definitely have to worry about him. And if correct me if I'm wrong, I think they moved this guy around a bit too. They don't just leave him on one side, so that you could possibly see him over where McKivitz is. He had 3 QB hits last week, 1 sack, 4 tackles, and yeah, it's going to be tough to play against him, without a doubt. Very interesting. You mentioned the Lions running backs. That's a duo that they both put up 1,000 yards, and they both put up over 10 touchdowns a piece. Actually, well, Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 touchdowns, 945 yards. He was close to 1,000. My bad. And Dave Montgomery 1,015 yards, 13 touchdowns. So that's very, very impressive. It's definitely something to worry about. Take note of. Montgomery's obviously more of your power.
Put it together, and you basically have CMC.
Pretty much. Amon-Ra St. Brown finished with 1,515 yards, so 10 TDs. We obviously have to worry about him. You mentioned Sam Laporta earlier, 889 yards, 10 TDs as well. He's kind of like a younger George Kittle, but he's not known for his blocking like we were talking about before the show.
Right.
And let me just say what's up to some few other people up here. It says Slavic Niner says bang bang. I'm gonna finish it out with the Niner gang. Red Jet Shell says like and subscribe to both channels. Yes, we appreciate that. And you said Anzalone has broken ribs. They just don't have him ruled out. I guess he's going to find a way to strap it up and play somehow, which is going to be very interesting. I can't picture him being effective with broken ribs trying to play out there. It's going to be really, really weird. But I guess he has no choice because it's a do or die type game, Yeah, and Hutch, thank you, Davey. Good to see you. Says Hutchinson primarily rushes from the right side. And I have seen a lot of what he's done from the right side as well. So John V's in the house. Check him out for the Locker Room Rant YouTube channel. It's a very good YouTube channel with him and his best friends. One's a Buffalo Bills fan, Tony, and we got Nicholas Akalatis. He's a Cleveland Browns fan. I believe he was telling John V that he likes the 49ers chances against the Lions, which is good. Good, because, that's really, really good to hear that people that don't like the 49ers are saying that we may win. So, all right. But, have you noticed that there's a lot of, especially for the consensus of the NFL fans, it almost seems like the whole world's against us and everybody wants the Lions to win.
Yeah. I don't mind playing spoiler. If we have to be the Sith Lords or one of the Lions creators I talked to was from Nottingham in the UK. And so he was trying to say we were like the sheriff and they were Robin. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's just we're going to win. And, I don't care if America likes us or not. Give me my ring, and I give 2 rats about popularity contests.
Yeah, I can care less if at the end of the day, if we come out on top, cool. You guys don't like us, all right, that's fine. Well, we got our number 6 ring, but let's just win this Lions game and worry about the rest later. And as far as the Niners injury report, as far as now, the only players on the injury report are Oren Burks, linebacker with a shoulder injury, who had a collision in practice, and defensive tackle Kalia Davis ankle, who was still on IR. So they were saying that they were going to open up the practice window for Kalia Davis this week, possibly, and they said they were possibly thinking about activating him. So I guess not. And I know we still have Sebastian Joseph Day in the mix. We picked up from the Chargers. Eric Armstead's, 1 week back from playing last week, and people are throwing out the whole rust factor, and maybe he was rusty, and that seemed to be the theme for a lot of our players last year. Well, hey, you can't be rusting anymore. It's the NFC Championship game. If you got that bad game out of the way, okay, whatever. But now's where it really counts. So, yeah, there we go. So, John Lynch was back to Anzalone, the linebacker. He said, Rob D, he has been playing with fractured ribs since the last game of the season. Okay. Well, maybe we should just run straight at him then, huh? I don't know what we could do in
That's
that
not
regard.
a bad idea.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So let's see if there's anything else I missed in the chat. I'm just looking, trying to shout everybody out. Just a reminder to like and subscribe to both channels if you haven't done so already. We're running this as a dual stream. If you're on Twitter, watching it on Twitter, jump over to the YouTube channel and show us some love on both channels, and we really appreciate it. Reason why we ask for the like is that if you hit the like button, the video has a lot of likes, it'll get more suggestion from the YouTube algorithm to get more views and all that. So we definitely would appreciate that. And anything that I've missed out on, Ted, that you want to cover? Or
just that I think it'll be a close game. I think that we'll win. I predicted 31-24. I just hope that Kirby Joseph doesn't get dirty the way he did against Higbee and the way he did against Hawkinson. There was a lot of dirty play, I felt like, against the Rams. And it's bad if I'm defending the Rams, but like they did helmet to helmet on Puka. They did helmet to helmet on Kyron, helmet to helmet on Stafford. Then they took out Higbee's knee as ACL. And then even on the Puka non-call at the end of the game, the second guy in was going for his head too. So I don't want to see any of that. Lions, bite your kneecaps all you want figuratively, but if you start literally pulling that, we're gonna have issues.
Why do I keep hearing this bite the kneecaps thing? Is that a thing with the Lions?
Dan Campbell said when he first took over.
Okay. I keep hearing that attached to his name, and I already know he looks like some big, crazy looking dude on the sidelines. Whenever I see him, I think of Bill Goldberg from wrestling or whatever. I've actually met Bill Goldberg before. He's a really cool guy, but just always cracks me up thinking about that guy. 49ers Ultimate Report. John Jay's here. What's up, Bash and Ted? Hope all is well. Good to see you. And John Lynch says Kirby isn't dirty. Niner players hit like that 10 times a game and nothing is said. Okay, I got you, man. I'm not really too worried about. I heard about that dirty stuff that we might have to worry about. I'm just not thinking about it going to this game. I'm really not. And Rob D says Ted is the real Jim Everett. With a real Jim Everett, please stand up. Shout out to Team Cali, says bang bang Niner gang. I'm gonna finish off. And never anybody types bang bang. I had the Niner gang with it. Again, shout out to everybody who's going to the game. What's good in Levi's Stadium for the NFC Championship game. I will not be there. A good buddy of mine, Raj from RS at 49ers, is going to be there. Him and I are going to go live later tonight, 7 p.m. He's going to be at the game. And if anybody else that I know is going to the game, they can always hit me up and I can shout them out. And yeah, it's just great to have any friends of ours at the game, just supporting this Niner team and getting loud and crazy. And hopefully we come out on top. You seem very focused into what you're doing there, Ted. What's going on here, man?
Arguing with the freaking Chiefs fans.
You're arguing with the Chiefs fans. Should we bring them on the show? I mean, we can argue with them right here live. I mean,
no, that's fine.
And go ahead and give us your prediction again.
31-24, 49ers.
Okay. And I'm going to throw out some stats really quick about where we pretty much are typically throughout the year on defense. Like the Niners defense was ranked third in the NFL in scoring defense at 17.5 a game. We gave up we were best in the league and eighth best in the league in terms of yards per game. So that's good to know. Niners defense in terms of passing rating being thrown upon, we had the fourth best passing rating in the NFL, 79.6 in the NFL defensively. So that's good to know. That's why I wasn't too worried about the corners. And I know Ambry Thomas and some of our DBs get slandered. I think for the most part, they've done a really nice job this year. We lead the league in interceptions. Some of those interceptions do come from Fred Warner and Greenlaw. I get that they're not all from the DBs, but I think I'm okay with it. It's not going to be raining conditions where we have to worry about our DBs slipping and sliding all across the field. I know that was a really bad look. I believe it was about 75 yards that accounted to the Green Bay Packers. 75 passing yards that accounted from our guys slipping and falling all over the place. And John Lynch says 35-17. My prediction, actually, I had it written down before I was going to bring it up here, was 34-17. So we're both very, very close. And he says, John, you got to put look this negative energy that you're throwing out there with your Kyle stuff, man. Bro, come on, man. We just keep it positive, man. I'm just telling you, man. The more positive energy that we throw out in the universe is I can't explain it properly, but just you throw out what you're going to get in return, man. So
A couple other interesting things. The Lions don't trust their kicker. His name is Michael Badgley, and he's not very good apparently. So it's another similarity there. And a wild card to keep in mind for the Lions, a name you may not have heard, is James Houston, because he hasn't played since the 2022 season. And he had 8 sacks in 7 games. He was part of Hutch's draft class. He would be a bookend to Hutch, playing on the opposite side. And apparently he has really good bend. And if he's good to go, he was cleared for the Bucs game, but they decided he wasn't ready to play. So if he is cleared to go, it could be a real big addition to their defense.
Give me his name again.
James Houston.
James Houston. I don't know why I haven't heard of this guy before.
Yeah, because he didn't play this season. And he played only like 7 games in 2022, but he had 8 sacks in 7 games.
I didn't see his name pop up when I put up that injury report. I don't know.
No, because he was cleared to play last week.
Oh, okay. He was cleared last week. Okay.
Cleared to play, but they just decided to hold him out. He had it's interesting too, because he had a broken leg and then a sprained ankle, and he had high wire surgery on the sprained ankle to tie the tibia and fibula together so you don't get high ankle sprains anymore. But apparently that makes it so he can only pass rush from the defensive right. So he can only pass rush against Trent Williams. So that should limit him some as to how effective he can be going against Trent.
Well, he's only 6'1", 245, but he did have a whole bunch of sacks last year. I get that part.
Yeah, 8 sacks in 7 games, including a big game against the Bills, apparently.
Yeah.
So a few of the content creators I talked to this week were talking about them hoping to have him back this week.
Yeah,
as a big boost.
Right. Hey, but John, he didn't choke last year, though. Let's be real about that. If we're gonna talk about choking, John Lynch didn't choke last year, so let's be real about that. Yeah, my bad, Kyle. I'm getting all my names messed up. All right, so anyways, Team Cali says 27-17. I said 34-17. John Lynch said 35-17. And give us your score prediction again, Ted.
31-24.
31-24. Okay, we got you down. What up, John LaJoy? He says, hi, Bashar and Ted. Good to see you. How about first touchdown? Who gets the first touchdown for the 49ers?
I mean, you'd be crazy to bet against CMC, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I know, right? So you got CMC. Okay, so I got you. I'm going to go for Debo. I got Debo Samuel.
Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah, definitely got Debo
Except for
Samuel.
Kittle, my man Kittle, who's over there.
I know. You know what's funny that we've been fortunate? Somebody mentioned in the chat, like, I didn't check it this particular game, but a lot of games I did check it, like in terms of teams and who's effective guarding against the tight ends and who's not good at guarding against tight ends. And we've been fortunate. A lot of teams we have been playing aren't so great at stopping the tight end, and for the most part, Kill's been pretty effective in getting those type of games. So from what I hear, the Lions aren't that great at stopping the tight end. So hopefully we do take care of that, and probably he gets in the end zone. So he said Purdy 10-yard rush for the first touchdown. Okay, so you got Purdy running for 10 yards. All right. I said Debo. Maybe they do an end around or run him on a little sweep or something, or maybe throw a little short pass and he just runs it up, runs wild for 15, 20 yards or whatever. I don't know. I just love watching Debo. He's a really fun player. Even though Ayuk, I like them both. I like them both in different ways. I mean, but Ayuk needs to bounce back. I was expecting a whole lot more from Ayuk when Debo was gone the last game, and Ayuk didn't have one of his better games. Now he made a really, really nice catch. I get that part. He made a great catch actually, but just throughout the game, he wasn't the productive that Ayuk that I'm used to and that we're all used to. Perk Dog is here. Says, yeah, I rep that shit. He's good. It's always good to have him here. And so hopefully Ayuk's the real Ayuk, and this is the first time in a long time. Now Debo missed pretty much most of the game last week. First time in a long time that we are going to have Jennings, Ayuk, and Debo all in the mix. And Jennings was really, really nice last week. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to see a lot of the real Purdy that we pretty much saw throughout the year, the Purdy that was in the MVP runnings. I think there's a strong chance that we get to see a whole lot of, that version of Purdy, not this, hey, I'm dropping back the pass and I'm wiping my hand in the middle of a throw or something like that. Or I got to take my glove off and put it back on or whatever crap. So hopefully. John Lynch says Ayuk is a better receiver. Debo's a game changer. Ayuk is replaceable. Debo is. Yeah, you know what? I love Ayuk. There's a lot of good receivers coming out too in this upcoming draft. it just seems like we suck at developing certain players, especially receivers. And I don't know if we lose Ayuk in the future, we better find a way. We better draft some pretty damn good guys. I'm still pissed that we missed out on Puka. Had not that I thought Puka was going to be an amazing player in his rookie year or anything like that. I just thought he'd be productive and be pretty good. And I mentioned him a few times on my mock draft shows, and we definitely dropped the ball on that one. And it mainly pisses me off because he went to the Rams.
Look who's here late.
Aaron for 49ers First Takes podcast. If he's excited, then we all better be. You better be excited, Ted. I haven't seen any excitement from you yet. You're a little calm, cool, and collected today.
Well, I mean, I'm nervous. This is like
you're nervous. Imagine if you're one of the players.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, but this is because basically it's like if you win, oh great, you're supposed to win. If you lose, it's like oh you choked, and oh Shanahan choked another NFC Championship game, and da 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 da. So like, I'll be excited when we win, but until then, I think it's gonna be tougher than a lot of people think, and I think, I think we'll win. It's just I'm not like super excited about it. I'm kind of looking ahead a little. I'll be honest. Hope the players aren't, but I'm looking ahead to getting revenge on either the Chiefs or Ravens, one way or the other. Getting revenge in the Super Bowl. So
I'm not looking ahead yet. I'm really not. I just want to win this one game and go from there. So then, because then we'll find out eventually who we play.
Damn, Perk Dog in the house too.
He sure is. He's definitely. Oh man, that really cracked me up. Hey, do me a favor, everybody. If you have,
dog, is it?
No, that's a real one. That's a real one. If you have not dropped your score,
Perk, if it's you, say rep that shit.
He did. He said it already. He said it already.
Did? Oh, okay. Then it is him. All right.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was we had already dropped the score predictions. I'm 34-17. You're what? 30. Say it again.
31-24.
31-24. Okay, there you go. I was going to say 34-24. It's a good thing I asked you. And if you have not dropped your score prediction, go ahead and say it and drop it in the chat, and I'll say I have my first touchdown of the game going to Debo. Whether he runs it or catches it, whatever. He's going to be in that end zone before anybody else. Ted has CMC. But hey, I would love to see Diamador Lenore get a pick six. I'm a big, huge Debo fan, the hyena. He calls himself a hyena. He says that's a spirit animal. He has a huge hyena tatted on his back, and
he had a huge hit against the Packers again, just kind of like the Eagles.
Everybody keeps saying that, and for whatever reason, I want to see this. If anybody can link me to Instagram clip or Twitter clip, or tell me where to look on YouTube, that was one play that slipped my mind, and I want to see it. And I don't even know who he hit. So if somebody can lead me down the way, I'd love to look it up. Joey Mahoney said the guy who's never scared, who never thinks we're going to lose, has more faith in this team than any 49er fan in the universe. Says the 49ers are going to win 30-20.
Niner Joe.
Niner Joe. Yeah, Niner Joe 30-20. Oh, Team Cali's got a score order. He says Jennings, Debo, CMC, then Kittle. All right.
Wow.
And yeah, it all comes to D-line. We got to see that pass rush. We got to see Hargrave. We got to see Bosa. We got to see Chase Young. We got to see Randy Gregory. Armstead, all these guys that we're paying all this big money for, these dudes with these bigger names, and I want to see them get after the QB. And we've done it before in the past with Goff, but teams were a little bit different. And Greenlaw's picked off Goff and had a pick six. So
either our DTs in the middle or Fred and Dre blitzing up the middle.
Kinlaw had a pick six on Goff once back when he was in the Rams. So.
Right. Yeah. COVID season.
Yeah, so if you're not going to be dropping any more score predictions, that's fine, or any more TD predictions, that's fine. We'll close it out pretty soon. Then, anything else you want to touch on, Ted, before we close this out?
No, I just like that Perk Dog said, grab your nuts. That's good. I mean,
you want to flash that on
I'm confident that we'll win. It's not a matter of confidence. It's just a matter of like everybody kind of most educated people expect us to win. So it's just like, I don't know. It's not like slaying the dragon like it would be against the Ravens.
At the same time, I mentioned earlier that a lot of Detroit Lions fans think they have it in the bag, think we're going to win, think they're going to win. Sorry. And, there is a lot of bulletin board material about, Purdy not being good enough, not being up there with the other quarterbacks in the playoffs. And
if anybody sees that stuff, DM it to me because I'm way behind on my receipts. I need to stock up.
Yeah.
for the game.
John V was telling me it's all over the place. I just haven't really looked as much. He was just telling me about it. Randy, what up? Randy says, "What's up? You're a little late to the party, but good to have you. Drop your score prediction. And if you know who's going to score the first touchdown, go ahead and drop it for us or read it off." You know what? This is a very good comment because watching that game, I didn't think we blitzed enough. And he said we need to add the safety blitz back into the defensive packages. Please get Jair Brown on the field. I know he's a rookie, but I just want to see.
It's a good way to use him.
Yep. Just remember, if we win Sunday, we have to play Lamar. I know. Hey, it's not going to be easy from here on out. This is where the big boys are made. So let's see how it goes down. Y'all know how I do. So yeah, I was waiting for more score predictions or more touchdown predictions. Otherwise, we'll close it out in just a minute. Let's see if any more pop up. Okay, here we go. Randy Daytona says 31-17 Niners. CMC. I said 34-17, so we're pretty close. And you got CMC scoring the first touchdown. Good pick. CMC's been in the end zone plenty this year. Had 2 TDs last week, and he was really, really nice last game, and had 98 yards. And a lot of people thought he should have ran the ball more, or we should have mixed in a bit more of a Mason and Mitchell who didn't get on the field at all. And hopefully, it's not just CMC, or we just get more runs. And this offense is predicated on the run. It's not that we don't have. There was a rumor thrown around that we don't have confidence in Brock Purdy. Yada, yada, yada. I've been confident in Purdy since week 1. Purdy won me over. I knew once I saw week 1 go down, I knew he was the quarterback that we were going to go with. He looked better he looked better in week 1 than he did last year. Even to me, his arm looked fine, primed and ready. I didn't have any doubts about his arm. So all the doubts that I had about Purdy in regards to his arm or in terms of, maybe Trey Lance is going to take over, all that went out the window week 1 for me. And, we're moving on with this quarterback, and this is our guy. Joey Mahoney says Purdy gets the first touchdown. Okay, so I assume, does he run it or throw it? You can let us know. Defense is going to knock the toughness out of the Lions. Their updated logo going to have a perm like Big Worm. Big Worm, another Friday reference, right? You got Debo. Oh yeah, you put up that post. You must be a big Friday movie fan. I am. I love the movie Friday and the sequels that came after. Even though none were as good as the original, but you put up that video of Debo and he said he's running around like Ezel on Friday. And I made the comment like, "Whoa, is it possible for Debo to play 2 characters in the same movie?" Because you got Debo, Debo in the character, and you're like, "Yeah, man, Eddie Murphy does it all the time." So I remember that. Said I wouldn't mind if Juice scored the first touchdown. Team Cal. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Hey, he's got nice hands. We could throw to him out of the backfield, or it's been a while since I've seen him run one in. But I'll take it either way, man. I'm okay with anybody getting the end zone. So it looks like we pretty much got everybody's predictions down. Appreciate everybody in the chat. I'm going to pop this up one more time just a reminder. If you're new to the channel, new to Ted's channel, new to my channel, you can hit up the description box of my video if you're not on Ted's channel, and hit this like and subscribe button on his stream. And
thank you in advance. You guys got me off 666 today, so that was good.
Oh, there you go. So you hit it. You got a new subscriber. There you go. Yeah. That's cool. It's cool. Yeah. So again, any final thoughts, Ted?
No, just that I do believe the 49ers will win. I think we'll see much more like what we saw from Brock the whole season, and and I think the defense will look better too. But the Detroit Lions are for real, and it's going to be a fight. Absolutely. Okay, cool. We're talking about the movie Friday, the Friday franchise. The first Friday was great. Next Friday was good. Then Friday 3, hell no. Yeah, it had some moments. It just wasn't as good as the other ones. I agree. Oh, well, that's how sequels work, right? Very few of them are as good as the originals. Yeah. So clear weather's in Santa Clara. Shout out to everybody going to the game. If you're traveling, safe travels. Going to be great to see you guys. And I wish I could be there. I'll be there in spirit, let's just say. And T. Callie said Debo needs to be introduced last so he can come out on a beach cruiser. Maybe save that for the Super Bowl. Yeah, well, maybe we'll say that. He always likes to come out first with Trent Williams over the boombox, man. Yeah. So, and again, thank you guys for watching Ball and Bash and 10 on the 49er Minded YouTube channel, where we get into the minds of 49er fans. Keep repping those 49ers and stay 49er minded. Let's beat them Lions, beat Detroit, win the NFC Championship game. Let's make it to the Super Bowl. Let's go, baby. Woo! Come on, 49er fans, let's get it.
Because it's 49er mind.
gotta do this one time for the Empire.
It's 49 in mine. It's 49 in mine.
We gotta get that brick by brick real quick.
49 in mine.
Yeah, yo, we can't listen to them haters, man.
49 in mine.
We from the Bay.
49 in mine.
We them San Francisco 49ers.
49 in mine.
We got that red and gold blood inside us.
49 in mine.